Masterforce has been
No,
sharing
no.
Oh, you haven't gone live yet.
Right. Not to go
Can't
live.
see you.
Gotta move all this stuff out of the way. Hold on. I'll let you know.
All right.
Ugh, got too much stuff up. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, hold on. I think I closed it accidentally. Hold on, Landy.
Okay.
It's coming. Finding the page. Okay, Alanda, you should be able to see me from somewhere. You should be able to see it on Facebook and know to go. You can go, Landa. It should be live.
Masterforce has been sharing workshops,
Okay.
seminars, and development courses with our community for over 35 years. In 2010, we launched the Masterforce International Leadership Academy online, creating the possibility of providing courses worldwide. This same year,
You're muted, Alanda. Unmute. They can't hear you. Unmute, Alanda. Unmute.
are clear, open, and receptive, we generate a magnetic vibration that will bring to us all that we envision.
Can we share
Self-mastery
or no?
event designed to assist us in preparing our space for this season of magic and magnificence. Each night, there will be a different topic, a different speaker, and a different vibe, all of which is designed to expand your horizons and bring you to the highest version of your best self. We look forward to sharing this amazing gift with you. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the 17th season of Ignite Your Soul Connection with Mu Shemsu-t and Farasha. And we're going to talk about the path of self-mastery. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Ignite Your Soul Connection for the 17th season. We are actually blown away that we have been doing this for so long and that the coaches continue to share their time and energy with us. It is just amazing and such a wonderful thing to do. For those of you who are watching, please go ahead and share this video on the Ignite Your Soul Connection. You can go ahead and share it to your own personal pages so that we can get this conversation out to as many people that would like to watch it. Okay, so, that would be wonderful. So we really want to, kind of cover what this season about before we get into the conversation. But let me start off by saying that my name is Rita Stewart, but people in my inner circle know me as Mu Shemsu-t, she who follows God in divine essence. I was given that name by Sheket Ma'at Chaz over 35 years ago, and I still do my best to honor becoming that. I'm not that yet. But according to African tradition, the more that you call me Mu Shemsu-t, the more that frequency vibrates in my body and helps me to develop those characteristics and personalities and ways of being so that I be that person. Because that's what my purpose is for this incarnation, right? So now, before we get into the conversation with Farasha, I do want to talk about the cosmic energy that's going on right now in the universe. First of all, you may want to know, if you don't already, that we are currently in Mercury retrograde, which means that there are going to be some issues with computers, communication, transportation, currency, and do not sign any contracts during this time, okay? And it usually lasts about 3 weeks. So if you don't know about this energy, I suggest that you go and Google it or research it in some kind of way so that you can become just as proficient in how you mitigate the cosmos, because we're part of a universe. We're not by ourselves. So we may as well learn how to use this energy for ourselves in our own development, okay? All right, so then also, I want you to know that we'll be here every night this week. So plan to tune in at 7 o'clock, and we do record it, and you will find it on our YouTube channel. So now, without any further ado, let us bring on one of my favorite people on the planet who I don't get enough of, because we just have not, and I've been knowing this beautiful soul for well over 30 years. So I know. So Farasha, hello, how are you? Oh, wait a minute. You're okay. Hold on. You're muted.
Okay,
There
I'm
you
unmuted.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Mama Mute, Rita Stewart. I love you so much.
Oh, I love
I,
you.
I'm so grateful to be a part of this. This is my first time, you know.
This is your first time, and you know what I was thinking about the other day? That I don't know if you may not remember this, but when I first started my coaching practice, I lived in Schaumburg, right? And
Mhm.
then when I moved to the city, it went in a different direction. And you were one of my first clients.
I do know that. I do know that. I think it was on Stewart, I believe. I met you over there.
Oh no, was it that on 101st? 100 and
I think it was right off.
yeah, it was so, because I was like, oh my God, I think that was before I got married last. That was before Zakur was born.
No, it wasn't before you got married.
It was after.
Yes, I went to your wedding And
Yeah,
I'll never.
I knew you. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
thought I knew you before the wedding because Manette
Well,
and I did a Kwanzaa event
yes,
at the Peace
yes,
Church, and that was
yes.
before my wedding.
Okay. Well, it was right before.
It was in those time periods. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I was so enamored by you and
Oh,
so drawn to your. You were the first light being I have ever engaged or.
oh,
So I
oh.
was so enamored. Remember, I was just like a little puppy. I was like a little puppy, and I was like, oh, I gotta hook up with her. I gotta hook up. When you called and offered me that scholarship to the academy, I
Mhm.
was like, oh yes, absolutely,
And that
absolutely.
was a long time after, yeah, because the
Yeah,
academy
that
came.
was a long time after. Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
you had did a lot of work before then. Yeah,
Oh
you did
yeah.
a lot of work.
I had a spiritual awakening inside my marriage, and my husband didn't wake up, and I was like, "What's happening?" So yeah, I needed some help.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
And you know, isn't that great? I'm grateful too that we all kind of find each other,
yes,
you know, to walk with each other, because that is a scary time when you're married and your mate,
yeah.
you know. And I remember somebody telling me, because I had the same thing that happened. And I went to somebody that I knew, and they said, you know, it's just that men take a little bit longer, you know. And I'm saying a little bit longer, you know.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, it was a very, very lonely time. I
Mm,
didn't have anybody to go to. I I couldn't find my tribe. I mean, I studied with Jehovah's Witnesses, the House of Ra Africa, all sorts of set society, the Hebrew Israelites. I was so thirsty, grasping, and
mm.
I could never find my tribe. It's like, this is religion. I might as well stay on the pew at the Baptist church. That's how I was feeling.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, we definitely got you off that pew
Yes. But you know,
in a good way. Yeah.
it took
But
me
what?
it took me over 20 years to my cognitive dissonance was so deep that there was just certain things I just couldn't let go of my sweet Jesus.
But wait, we go. Okay, we gonna get
Okay.
before we
We
get
get
to that.
okay. Okay.
I want you to kind of introduce yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Tell people where you are, and actually, I don't know. Do you remember the year that you certified, and then
I
how?
do.
Okay, okay, and then how that changed your life. So give that.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I am Farasha Ra Meat. I was given that name by a former Nubian high priest. Um, I had such an affinity to butterflies. He didn't know that about me, but the butterfly is like my motif, my for my whole journey, the whole purpose in this earth. And I've been in the Midwest all my life, born in Michigan and raised in the Chicago metropolitan area. I'm a suburbanite, but I love, love, love the great city of Chicago. It is the most beautiful thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the energy. And yeah, so, but yes, I became certified through the Master Force Academy, October 2011. And it, there was a bunch of craziness going on at that time in my life. Um, I was going through a divorce, and I had just lost my brother. I just a lot of feelings, anger. I was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to be a life coach. I joined because I wanted to become a better version of myself, and I was seeking help for that. I had no intention of taking clients, none of that. That was not my goal. I just wanted to live a higher life, to be a better person, and to do something different than what I was doing. And I'm gonna tell you, uh, Master Force brought so much richness. I have around surrounded by a family of life coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I have made connections with my tribe. There are people who I am still very much in touch with since Master Force. One of the first reading lists that you gave us or suggested reading was Robert Murphy, Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Mm-hmm. Joseph. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Joseph,
Yep.
Joseph,
Mm-hmm.
Joseph. And you also, in giving us that, you shared a testimony about an injury you sustained after falling off bleachers and
Mm-hmm.
it broke, shattered bones. And that was such a gift for me because I ended up laying in a hospital bed,
Mm-hmm.
remembering that testimony and using, of course, I read the book,
Yeah.
and using that technique.
Mm-hmm.
And on the ninth day, I had doctors calling me a phenomenon, that they never seen anything like it. And I ended up getting discharged out of intensive care. I was thinking they were going to put me in a regular room. They're like, no, you can go home. I'm like, oh, snap. I'm on to something. I I healed myself. And it was so awesome because in my inner ear, I kept hearing, according to your faith, you are healed. According to your faith, you are healed. And I took that energy of those words, because those are words that I'm familiar with, and the knowledge of and the instruction of that book, and your powerful testimony of how the little men was in there fixing stuff, putting
Mm-hmm.
it back together. And I used my imagination and my visualization, and I fired up my chakra system like a furnace. And I just bask in this green light once it got to the heart chakra. And I walked out of there a phenomenon. And
I remember that, but I also want to remember you calling and me having to remind you.
well,
Do you remember that?
yeah,
Because you
you
were
have had to remind me often. Do you know who you are?
right, because it was so, I remember being so adamant with you, like, do not let them do surgery on you. Do
Right,
you remember
right.
that?
Yes, yes, yes,
I was like, listen, you can do this.
yes,
And
yes. I remember.
yep, and I sent you some binaural beats too, I think. And I said, you know how to do this.
I know how, and I did. I knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're in intensive care, they always bothering you. They don't let you
All the
sit
time.
coming in there to draw some blood and stuff.
Yes.
And so one of the phlebotomists came in one day and she said, I saw you were meditating, so I saved you for last. But
Oh,
I'm like, really? Thank you. She was aware of what
yes.
was happening. And I was so grateful for that. I'm like, thank you, universe.
Oh, I love that
Yes.
story. It is time for you to write a book, but that's a different story. That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
and then another time I remember when you put your power in the play, and I'm sure you have many, many stories, but
Mhm.
you wanted to release some habits that you had, and you were like, listen, I want to release this.
Can I tell that story?
Yes, absolutely.
We were in class one day. It was after class. And a few of us was hanging around at the Quaker house, just sitting and chit chat, chit chat. And I said, hey, you guys, um, I got this inner bitch and I don't like her no more. I want her to go away. I don't like how she's showing up in my relationships. And actually I got the experience of feeling what having a quick wit and a sharp tongue
Mm,
does to people's soul. And I told y'all, she murdering people.
mm,
I said, she's a freaking murderer. I don't want her anymore. And so Icha Devera
mm.
says to me, well, Valerie, that's my government name where I cash my checks. Valerie, it doesn't work like that. You have to learn to love your bitch. What? No. where I come from, we don't make friends with demons. You know, we cast them out and chop their heads off. I'm not loving her. I don't, and so I couldn't receive what she was saying, which happened a lot at best, of course. I just couldn't receive it, okay?
Yeah.
From some of my cognitive dissonance, right? So fast forward, after we had completed the certification process, each has started this avatar program. And she called me, she said, I'm running a beta. I want you to participate. And I said, okay. And so she gave me this MP3 recording. It was 6, 7 phones ago. I don't know where it is, but I remember it by heart because the bathtub is a sanctuary for me. So I prepared the water and lit my candles and poured me a glass of wine and put the MP3 in. And it was a guided meditation. And you start off at the top of this grand staircase. And the staircase can be as grand as your imagination. And Shakti Gawain had taught me how to use my imagination and visualization. Are you familiar with her, Shakti Gawain? She's with the ancestors now, but
you know, that's part of that was on our reading list. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So the staircase was, my staircase was marble and gold. It was just exquisite and opulent. So you descend down into the staircase and you end up in this great foyer, right? And there's these tall, beautiful French doors, and you pull the doors open toward you and you walk out into a garden of your creation. Your imagination builds this beautiful, exquisite garden with colors and green meadows and ponds and brooks. I had little koi fish in my pond. I mean, it was beautiful. And then I saw this bench on the path, on like a cobblestone path. So I sat on a bench like a park bench. And then I looked down and I see this energy. You know how you see heat dancing?
Yes.
I see energy and it's coming toward me. And I began to understand that there's someone coming. And I got filled with anticipation and delight, wondering who it could be, you know, who is this going to be? And as it got closer and closer, guess who it was? It was me. In my beautiful continence of light and hair and teeth and skin, I was the prettiest I have ever seen myself ever. And she smiled at me and she sat down and put her hand on my knee. This is in the bathtub during meditation, okay, with the MP3 player. This is the experience I'm having. And she says to me, when your mother divorced, she relied heavily on you and she put you in charge of your siblings. And you didn't have the wherewithal to handle that responsibility. So I took over. I came to help you. And then she said, I apologize for becoming such a bitch. I did not mean to take over like that. Could you please forgive me? That doggone each and every one. She told me I had to learn to love a bitch, right?
Yes.
So I reconciled with her and I love her. And I integrated her into my life.
Yes.
Now, I drive the car, but she rides shotgun in case I need her.
Girl, because everybody needs to be able to, you know, I remember telling somebody, every single one of us has a beauty and the bitch.
Yes, yes,
you better have both of them because the world will step all over you if you just stay with the beauty, and you won't get anything done if you're always a bitch. So you know, able to navigate both of them.
Yes, yes. I had gotten praise for being this bitch. People would say, oh, girl, I should carry you in my pocket like a weapon. You got that quick wit. And so, you know, praise, your ego likes praise.
Yes.
So I was kind of walking around proud of my bitch. But then she wreaked so much havoc in the end. I had to get that. And I'm so glad I did. One guided meditation on an
Yeah.
MP3 player with
Yes.
some candles and some bath and some essential oils and some salt
Yes.
changed my life. It was my first experience of what shadow work might be, you know, to
Mhm.
integrate these things into your life instead of everything's a demon, everything's a devil, everything's evil. She came to assist me. She came to help a sister out.
That's
She
right.
didn't know how.
That is such a beautiful. Okay, and I'm still hearing book. And so, we have to talk offline about that, because that in itself, you just gave two distinct conversations that could really make a difference for people who need to get through that process that you're talking about. Because
Yeah.
it's one thing to talk about it, right? Our words can say it, but
Mhm.
actually doing the work
Oh
looks
my God.
different,
Oh my God.
you
Oh
know? And so people need to understand what that work looks like. That's wonderful.
it yeah, it is. I spiraled, just spiraled. And and I had to forgive myself for that and not beat myself up about that anymore, because I remember I was given a book by Asur as a Kwanzaa gift, the
Mhm.
Metro uh Ra Amen. You know that book?
I,
Volume 2, I think. Of course.
that's
Now
on
how
our reading
how
list.
I'm gonna ask you? I can't believe I just asked you that. Strike that. So anyway, when he first gave it to me and it came with some cards, a
Yeah,
deck of cards.
the
Okay.
oracle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Now, I'm still in my cognitive dissonance, right? I know how to feel about them cards. And uh, the book was so scientific, it was too heavy for me. I just
Mhm.
wasn't, but it spiraled back around and I was ready. So the spiral served me
That's right.
because when each of Debbie Rod told me I had to love my bitch, they were trying to hear what she was talking about. And then it came to pass. I didn't know when I got in the bathtub I was going to meet her. I didn't know.
Yeah. Now I want you to go ahead and continue inside, because our topic tonight, you're going to discuss with us what is the purpose of
Yes.
self-mastery. Now, your stories have been wonderful in describing some of the places where you were before you got on that path.
Yes.
But
Yes.
now, how would you explain, why is there a purpose behind self-mastery? How would you explain that?
Well, I like Eckhart Tolle. He said, "You have to die while you are still alive,"
Hmm.
and it reminded me of Jesus dying and resurrecting, because that is foundational, that whole Christianity thing. And so I often get replay of those things, but they mean something totally different than it did in my church life. In my church life, I wasn't receiving the gravity of what these things meant. And Eckhart Tolle uh, had mentioned that the ego has to die. So I started off on a journey trying to kill my ego.
Mm.
And I couldn't kill it.
No, you can't. Matter of fact, the more you try, the louder it gets. You have to embrace it too.
Yes, so that thing wouldn't die. But what I did figure out is that this is the thing. I have to let it serve me and not master me. Because
Mm.
I actually need my ego. It's useful, but I needed to be a good servant. And so that whole self-mastery thing, having to live and die, and you have to be consciously aware, mind, body, and soul, that you you're not who you are. You want to become your true self. And in order to do that, because you've been brainwashed and acculturated through your religion and your family and society and all these things, when you come to this planet, you get born into this soul contract that you're not aware of because you forget. You have to come through forgetfulness to get here to this planet. And apparently, there's a long line of souls waiting to get to this place.
This is the place to be. This Earth school, Earth is a school that's been considered, first of all, people want to get here because if you can make it here, you can
Lord.
make it anywhere.
And it's a hard school.
Yes.
Some people call it a mental institution. I don't call it. I don't call it that. But it could end up a prison though if you get caught in that trap of karma, wheel, incarnation. Not The thing is, you come here and it is a school and you choose the curriculum like you do your college courses. Now, when that first came to me, of course, I rejected it. I think it was Isha who was talking about a soul plan. So I
was in our curriculum too.
Yeah, yes, Master Force. Yeah, but I'm just telling you, each of
No,
us.
I'm just saying you're listing all the books. That's cool.
Yeah, soul plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she gave me that book. I don't remember how it happened, but totally rejected it because there's no way that I signed up to be molested. Why would I want that experience?
Right.
Why would I write that in my contract? That don't make no sense. So I totally rejected it, and then here it comes spiraling again, And it was the day I learned that it doesn't matter if you are royalty or a crackhead in front of the liquor store begging for change. Each person's experience is valid.
Yes.
And if they are born through a woman,
yes,
their contract is just as important and purpose in this earth as mine.
Absolutely.
And so I learned how to stop judging people along the way. And part of that self-mastery is the inventory, the self-inventory and the awareness and trusting the universe. That was so huge. I still have to check myself sometimes that I didn't listen. I wasn't. And it turns out, doggone it, I missed it, my bad, But part of my contract, so journey in this earth, on this earth school, is discipline, self-discipline.
Yes.
That is something that I have to every day be consciously aware of, right? Self-discipline is the highest form of self-love.
Yes, it is.
Come on now. Denying yourself gratification for having a sense of control over your avatar and not let it control you, not to give in to every craving and to just to stand in authority over your own earth, And this is huge for me. And Earth School and self-mastery, that's the purpose of the Earth School, is so that you could come here and master yourself and overcome these childhood traumas and all the things that you were born into, the bloodline you were born into, whatever things are in there, rape, incest, jailbirds, addiction, whatever thing you came through, mental illness, whatever. It doesn't matter if you were conceived in rape, incest, whether your parents was the best lovemaking they ever made, it doesn't matter which way you were conceived. Because all those thousands and is it millions of those spermatozoa in a little drop of semen?
Okay, come on.
And
Million.
that one that made it and penetrated the egg is you. You could have ended up a wet spot on the sheet.
Okay.
Now, your sun, my Scorpio sun, my Leo moon, and my Sagittarian, all of that aligned and conspired for that one little spermatozoa to hit and be me,
Wow.
to be on this planet. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Man, I was told I was a sinner, unworthy, a worm in the dust. I'm not none of that. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. So every time, it's like being in a dark closet and you find a big light, okay? And you like surrounded by boxes and crates and hurting your knees and stubbing your toe. And then you see a box of candles. So you take the candle, light the candle, and you're like, oh, maybe this is not a closet, okay? And then you see an industrial strength flashlight. And you turn that on like, oh man, this ain't no closet. This is a warehouse, a big old warehouse or something. Then you see the breaker switcher on the wall. Then you flip it, and it's 4 football fields wide. The truth keeps changing its perspective every time the light expands.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful analogy. Absolutely.
And so every time I get planted on some truth, that rabbit hole take me again. So I'm like, look, I ain't planting on nothing else. I'm just gonna stay free and unattached and go where I go. Because it is something, you know, and just think of I'm a little preacher standing on the soapbox preaching with my little big light. And that's the expansion of information and light and consciousness that I have is that big lighter. Not knowing, you know
Not
what I mean?
knowing that it's all opening up to you, the more you're able to move into more of the light. You see
Yeah.
another thing that represents more
Yes.
information for you to see, engage.
And it is the self-inventory and the awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Because even while I'm sitting in that classroom, I had become aware of this bitch factor that I needed to get in check. I was starting to become aware of myself and these things. I had a lot of Sekhmet energy, a lot of Kali Ma, and I was kind of reckless with it. I didn't know that it could be a blessing to my life. Instead, I was letting it wreck my life because I hadn't learned my superpowers and how to use them. And
So when you're looking at that and continuing that vein, but when did you recognize that you went from having that awareness to being on the journey towards self-mastery? When was that a light turned on, or was it you look back and saw it?
a light turned on.
Okay.
I was living in this big, pretty house, ghetto rich, with a successful transportation company. And God gave me permission to leave. But I didn't want to leave my big, pretty house and my income. I was so miserable in that house. I was so miserable.
You were still married? You were still married at the time?
I was married.
Mm-hmm.
And I had invested so much, and I wanted this marriage to work because the first one failed, and I needed this one to work.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to fail, and I just kept investing, overstayed. And I was sitting at my desk, and Psalm 27, it poured into me. And it said, take no spoils, leave.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, I want to take my furniture and my stuff.
I want my stuff.
But it was trappings,
Yes.
trappings.
Yes.
And I had overstayed because I had invested and poured into, and he can't, he needs me. I'm the administrative bookkeeper, secretary. He can't do it without me, you know.
Yeah. All those things we tell ourselves to stay comfortable.
But I was miserable,
Yeah.
like an old dog on the porch laying on a nail.
But you were familiar. It was familiar.
Yes,
You were safe. You knew, even though you were miserable, you knew what misery felt like.
yes.
You had learned to contend with it.
And you do carry it sort of like a little blanket, like Lime says, blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, cuddle with it and stuff. And I got courage. I don't know, something flared up in me, and this courage came, and I walked out and left everything except for one mink coat and a tennis bracelet. But I was wearing that, okay? My mama said, well, you go and get your stuff. And then my cousin's like, well, you're gonna leave your white couches and your that stuff in the, you're gonna leave all that. Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I truly didn't want it. I didn't want nothing.
Yeah.
I took the car because I needed the car, right? But other than that, I I had a couple of $1,000 on me, and I left like Tina Turner that day. And people say they couldn't relate to her saying, I don't want nothing, I just want my name because I worked too hard for it. I don't want nothing. I couldn't understand why she was doing that, but I understood that day. You just want yourself. You want your freedom. And the universe has told you that it's okay. You got it. Just go. Just go right now. And I stayed all those. It was that day when I walked out of that house and I felt like a superwoman. And I didn't look back. I didn't look back.
Now, can you see that that was part of a spiritual awakening for you at that time?
Yes. Yes. My first spiritual awakening was in the 90s when I met you. But like I said, I was having experiences that I went back and sat on the pew. I just didn't want it. I ran from it. I didn't want no part of it. Okay.
Everybody runs from me, Farasha. I used to take it as rejection, right? But it's just like, I get it now, you know? I require you to like literally look in that mirror.
Oh my God.
But what
Yes,
people don't realize, I'm looking in the mirror at myself with you too. It goes both ways. I have to do my work too.
doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because I find that all of the people I talk to and engage with, it helps me.
Yes.
They think I'm helping them. They're helping me.
Growing me up every single time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even those who I clash with, I
Yep.
still see myself in the mirror. They are my mirror, and I don't deny. I don't deny them anymore. A part of self-mastery is owning your own shit and being able to see that about yourself and own that about yourself. I have emotional intelligence now. You remember how I used to get easily triggered and cuss somebody?
Yes, I do. You and Tina Montgomery. I remember you. So I'm like, oh, don't do that. But you can't tell people don't do that because that's what we know. That's what the television, tell us to, the housewives of Atlanta, they demonstrate Black women as these emotionally immature, angry, like we can't contain ourselves, but we're just passionate. But we can have emotional maturity and still be passionate.
Yes. But I didn't. I really didn't at that time.
No,
I didn't have emotional intelligence, and all of my buttons were showing. And I was an empath. That's the thing I learned at Master Force Academy. I was an empath.
Yeah.
I just thought I was just suffered motion sickness.
Well, you know, the thing was, we when we were growing up, the term empath wasn't there. We were just
Right.
crybaby, oversensitive, a be
Yes.
quiet. You know, we weren't dealt with on
Yeah,
the
you're too
emotional.
sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you 2 cents. That's all and I'm telling you, most of the course coaches are empaths. That
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
I did no doubt about
they're empaths. They're the black sheep of the family. You know, they're the change makers. They're the difference makers. That's why we had to find each other, because
Yes.
otherwise we were continually being ostracized in our families and our work and our community. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Woo.
now, how do you choose to stay on the path now? Or is it, oh, wait, before I do that, someone had a question.
Okay.
Said, how do you speak to children who are having spiritual awakenings or who are spiritually aware at this time?
You know what? My granddaughters have come into the planet to get me, to
Yep.
help me, to teach me, honey. I shut up mostly and listen to them, honestly. But uh, one of the things that I'm doing now, okay, at first I speak life into all the children in my sphere. I
Yes.
speak life,
Yeah.
okay, to
Yeah.
all of them. And I hug them and I acknowledge them and tell them how beautiful they are. And I love them. So
Mhm.
that's an important thing. I honestly feel like the hermetic principles of the universe should be taught the seven, at least the
And
seven. Okay.
that's a book too.
I, I am I have become more conscious of my journaling. I'm investing a little bit more in my journals. They now leather bound with chakras and
Mhm.
crystals embedded on them. And I'm keeping these journals for my granddaughters.
Wow.
Uh, some, with journaling, which is this is one of the things that I do
Mhm.
to keep myself. I tried to do it on the computer. No, I got to let
You
the pen
have to. Yeah,
take
it's really, journaling is it's a spiritual
yes, the
practice. It's
pen
not a
has
getting
to hit the
something
paper.
done. Yeah.
And when the pen hits the paper, it just flows.
Magical.
It
Yes.
flows out. It flows out. And my granddaughters pull on my anointing. They are triggered. They trigger me.
Mm,
That oldest one.
mm.
She used to go in my purse and get my Florida water and find a crystal and bring it to me. Then she holds her hand out, wants me to unscrew it. Now, I never done this in front of her. I never gave that example. She wants me to pour some Florida water in her hand. She wants to rub it and do all like this on herself. And then she rubs the crystal. And I'm like, who taught you that, baby? And I asked my daughter-in-law, she does this. I never did that in front of her. She anoints herself.
Yes. You
And
know, that is the reckoning of, because most of us came in as indigo children.
yes,
Then our children and grandchildren become the crystal and the rainbow and the star.
yes, absolutely.
But we literally had to come in so that we could break the barrier that was there before, where we didn't have any sense of self, any sense of communication, and children were just used as tools to toil the land, right?
Right, right,
They
right.
weren't part of. But when you said that, the children came to teach you, it's,
Yeah,
if every parent and grandparent would really get clear that our children came to remind us of our mission and purpose on life, we would stop trying to tell them what to do and see who they are that inspires us.
yes,
I tell my
Absolutely.
children all the time, I would not be who I am. Master Force was created inside of me needing to make a way for my son when he was 10, right? So you actually do that. So I heard another book, just so you know, we're at 4 books now.
You're not the only one to say that.
You know that.
You know, when I was married, I had so many journals that I slid them in a box under the bed, and my husband pulled them out and read them. He's like, girl, you need to call somebody and get this stuff published. I'm like, those are like diaries. What are you reading that for? I've always been opinionated. I had an opinion about everything.
Well, you're king of clubs, so you came here to be opinionated. Just, king, that's, you king,
It
queen.
is what it is.
It is what it is. And then people don't have to like it or whatever, but this is your incarnation. This is who you are.
Right, right. And a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm so okay with that because
Mhm.
I still love them anyway.
Yeah. Now
You know,
you go ahead. What? In what?
I have a distinct difference of being able to love people and also release them back into the ethers because they're not serving my purpose in the earth. And I bid them well and wish them well
That's right.
and love them.
Freely release them.
Yes. And
if you're not here for my highest good,
that's a part of my self-mastery.
That's right.
I protect my ear gates.
Ooh.
I can't sit and listen to the news. And I can't sit and listen to no low vibe ass conversations. And I don't judge them. I just dismiss myself because I'm able to respect where people are on their journey. Oh my goodness. I have such an empathy for Christians who are at that place where the church ain't serving them and these stories just ain't doing it no more. And they are seeking something else. And I have such an empathy and I have such respect for our brother, Asur, who is there on the threshold helping them over, helping them cross.
Yep, he has his feet. He's doing the balancing act. That's right.
Yes. So yeah, I don't bash Christians. I think that
no,
but I used
because
to.
we all came through that. That's part of
Yes.
part of our growth and development.
Yes, I think every religion.
Yes,
I think every religion uh, serves as a part of self-discovery.
it serves to further. Absolutely.
Yes, unto your self-mastery, which
Now,
is every day I have to be conscious of self-mastery.
well, I was getting ready to ask that question. Are there now? You've mentioned journaling, and you've mentioned self-discipline. What are some of the daily routines that you use to keep you focused on this journey of self-mastery? Because you said it's something you have to do every day.
I have to make a conscious and intentional effort every day. So I create rituals, and I started off like I wanted to be like waking up, brushing my teeth, washing my face, like it's just automatic. But it didn't work that way for me. I had to do it soulfully. I had to put some intention and some energy behind it. You know, it couldn't just be a robotic, automatic thing. So I do these somatic stretches. I'm releasing energy and moving energy and my lymphatic, just getting it moving, releasing toxins out of my energy field, out of my body. That's a thing that I do, and I have to do it because I will stiffen up. I got to do it, you know. I am very, when I'm folding the laundry. Well, let me tell you this. When I get the lemons home from the store, I scrub them and then I dry them off. I wash them and I dry them off. Then I peel them very intentionally. So, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, so I'll have them in the morning for my ritual hot water with lemon in it. And while I'm doing it with love and intention, and I know that it's medicinal to serve my body temple. So I'm very present to things like that, you know. Meditation is I honor full moons and new moons. I'm always clearing for what I didn't accomplish from the last full moon to the next new moon, and re-upping and reestablishing and moving. I'm just constantly.
Recapitulation. That's right.
That is a word I learned in life coaching school.
That's right. And that's what,
Okay. And
yeah.
so I lay in the bed at night and I think about who I offended, who I owe an apology to,
Mhm.
and who I'm forgiving, whether they apologize or not. And releasing that energy so I can start when the sun rises on that grand rising on that new day. I wake up, I'm a morning person.
Yes.
They call me sunshine when I walk in the office because I'm bringing that energy. Now, when I get off work, don't talk to me. Give me a few minutes. I got to recharge, okay? Don't bombard me at the door with everything that's going on. I am an empath. And while during my self-mastery, I have learned how to observe and not absorb, I still get something on me sometimes. Okay.
Yes.
I still do. And that's one of those things I have to consciously every day.
Oh, there was a little glitch. I'm sure she's going to come back on. We're going to give her a few minutes. Remember, we're in Mercury retrograde. I'm going to just recap a little while Alanda gets her back on the line. But some of the things that she said inside of being on this journey of self-mastery with purpose, she talked about self-discipline. She talked about doing self-inventory, being able to see where things weren't in place where she wanted them to be, right? She also talked about awareness, being aware of herself and how she impacts people around her, all right? And then one of my favorite things that she brought up was being courageous. When we talk about that, and we'll talk about this more on Tuesday, when we are really not aware of how our frequency is vibrating, sometimes we stay in a frequency of shame, which is one of the lowest vibrations. And shame can come from how your family treats you, how your family has treated you, things that you say to yourself, your self-talk, right? So if you stay inside that frequency of shame, you never raise your vibration. And so you will attract things to you that will represent more of the things that you don't like about yourself. So that's why, having that, doing that inventory and having self-awareness, you can now begin to question, okay, wait a minute, this is showing up in my space. What can I do to be responsible for that, right? And that now when you do that, you actually have to own yourself and say, okay, now I have to have the courage to make a choice. And that's what we were at. We were looking at some of the things that she said that she does, which included journaling, which included creating rituals, intentional rituals, even while brushing her teeth, and that's true. You can do your mantras, your affirmations, you do a number of different things inside of your time so that you're working on your frequency. She also talked about meditation, and she talked about the moon cycles and right now, that's why we did open up looking at what the cosmic energy is. So give me a minute. Let me see where she is. Alanda, let me see. Are you talking to me yet? And let me see. Hold on. Let me look and see if there are any questions. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat on the Facebook page. And then I will read them and we will get back to you. Let me see. Where's my producer? Producer. Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm trying to see. Can you see
I sent you a message.
On my phone?
Right there in the chat, you guys. Hello.
No, I can't do the
Oh,
chat.
that's right. Okay. So your phone. Yeah. So no, I didn't. But stand by.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So now I know that some of this information, when we were growing up, for those of us that kind of started this work together, when we were growing up, we were told that certain things were witchcraft, and like Farasha was saying, you're a sinner, you shouldn't do it. But we were told those things so that we would not become aware of our own power. We are some very powerful beings. We were created in the image of God, and not just the image, but in the whole entire frequency, right? So part of that work is being able to have us to be aware of who we are. There she is. Hey, hello.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I didn't get any warning. The computer just died. So
Well,
now,
we're in the Mercury retrograde. So remember.
oh, yes, duh. Mercury retrograde. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And I was just kind of recapping what you had said so that when you come back, you can just start where you were. And
Yeah.
and we were actually finishing up on what were some of the things that you did on a daily basis that keep you focused on the journey. And thank you, Alanda.
Thank you, Alanda. Ritual baths. I'm a very ritualistic person. I gotta do it that way. That works for me. When I am releasing somebody into the ethers, I'm taking a bath, I'm burning a black candle. That in my mind, that shit is over.
Okay. You are released. You are free to go wherever you need to go.
Yes, yes, yes. So there's so many things that I do. There's so many things that I do.
Oh my God. And that was a fifth book. I'm telling you, girl, listen. You know.
I know I have frustrated you in my process.
Oh no, I don't think you've ever frustrated me.
Well, I have called. I have called you, and you're like, oh, Valerie. Oh my God, I gotta send her some money. I gotta send her some money. Oh my God. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Certainly hope I was more soft than that, because I want you all to know that I am a soft place to land, because
Yes. Oh, listen, you always were. You always created that safe place, but then you call me on my bullshit too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I needed that. And I love you.
Wonderful. Now, in all this talk, there was a quote that you said was one of your favorite quotes on this matter.
Oh, it is Khalil Gibran. He is. Was that Khalil Gibran?
Or was it Pablo?
Oh, that was Paulo Coelho. Paulo
Mhm.
Coelho. Listen, he said to me, and it's on my refrigerator at home. I'm not in my house, but perhaps you didn't come here to do anything. Perhaps you are to unlearn everything so you can become the person who you truly are.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's the responsibility of all of us, to lay it all down and to give them back their education and give them back their religion, and to forgive yourself.
Oh,
Oh my God. Do you know what happened after I've learned to forgive myself for the things that I didn't know, and forgive myself for when I did know and still did it anyway. And and, and forgive myself just for being human. You know what happened? I was able to forgive other people for being human. Duh!
and so much compassion opens up when you do that. Okay.
Self-mastery, just
Mm.
constant growing and becoming one. We're here, this fragmented. We think we're separate because we have been taught to worship a sky daddy, even though the one they call Jesus told us over and over again, the kingdom is within, the kingdom is at hand, the kingdom is within. I mean, I heard them say it, but I didn't know what it meant.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They didn't preach it. I mean, they didn't teach it. They just said it. So I didn't know what it meant. Now I get that. Oh my God, I get that so much. Because the higher self, the God in you, is just a breath away.
Mm.
Just a breath away.
Mm.
Just go sit down somewhere and be still and breathe. Oh my God, that right there. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, and because that's what we used to do. That's
Yes.
first class. First
That
class.
force totally changed the trajectory.
Mm.
It gave me, because I kind of was still just out here floating around, and it gave me a sense of direction. It gave me tools, so
Mm.
many delicious tools. Breathe to center, Valerie. Remember when somebody in class used to compliment me, and I would just sit there and you say thank you, Valerie. And oh, thank you. Because I didn't know how to take compliments. Like, oh, okay.
And that's part of receiving. Our big
Yeah.
challenge is that most of us know how to take, but we don't know how to receive. So if you're just always saying thank you, because the universe is always sending us something
Yes, yes, yes.
every minute, right?
Every minute. And so now I trust the universe. Because
Yeah.
when something undesirable come, like, what's that? Okay, what is that? Did I create this? Okay, show me. Just show
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit and have some pissy fit and woe
No,
is me. I don't do that victim stuff no more. And guess who taught me that?
probably Mia, Eva, Tammy, or
No, no,
Sarah.
no. It was you. It was you. It was you. You said, Valerie, I done heard this story. Now you know I only let you tell a story one time. Now you can't keep coming here with this story.
No, I do remember that. I need the story once, and that's it. That's not your story now.
Right, because I'll carry the story around like Linus in a blanket. It's my
Mhm.
story, and it's mine. You know.
Well, that would go into this next question. How
Mhm.
does cognitive dissonance play in your soul work in exploring self-mastery? Because you said
Well,
that was the big thing that for you.
man, I met Greg Stanton. It was the 90s. Everybody was wearing X's and kufis, and Malcolm X movie. Spike Lee had introduced him to a whole new generation. And I'm like, oh, people are waking up. Goody, goody, goody. Not.
All show.
So I met Greg Stanton. He was standing out in front of the Hillside Theater passing out flyers for Exodus Ministries. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, sister. And I'm like, oh, I think he can hear me. This is somebody who I can talk to. Oh, he's speaking my language, you know? And so I held on to the baby, but I threw the bathwater out. I even threw my Bible away. And then the spirit one day said, go get that out the garbage. I got to show you something. And so I did, because I was hearing in my inaudible. I was inaudible. Yeah. And so I held on to the baby. Because when they came to me about that ancestor worship, I'm like, nah, I'll be here when y'all get back. I ain't doing that shit. So one day, somebody sent me, it showed up in my feed, somebody singing Lift Every Voice and Sing. And for the first time, I actually heard the lyrics.
Mm.
And something welled in me, gratitude, or I don't know what welled in me from my ancestors. Thank you. Y'all survived. And because y'all survived, I'm here.
Mm.
The ones that came before Christopher Columbus and the ones who did not jump over the board into the Atlantic, y'all survived. And y'all endured. And your DNA got damaged and you got this big hole in your soul. We as a people should be extinct, but we're still here. And I got so full of gratitude for the ancestors. You know, I went and got me a plant and a crystal glass of water and some incense.
You started pouring libation, baby. Bring them on down. Come on now.
And then that audible voice said to me, your ancestors are with you on your DNA strand, coursing through your blood right now. They're not outside of you. They're inside. They're here, right now. And those ancestors will also be your descendants coming back through.
Yes.
You're here to clear the way for them to come back through and to bring them into a higher ascension, a higher dimension when they come back, clearing the DNA, healing the DNA. And I was like, okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. No.
Beautiful. That is such a beautiful. I could just see it right there when you was the imagery.
And I'm like, it's like, you know, why was I scared of ancestor worship? Religion really did I mean, I can't say that I worship them, but I honor them, and it's just I have a whole different understanding now. I'm no longer afraid. I know every boogeyman is my creation from my fear. Every demon I have authority over. I ain't scared. I ain't scared no more. That fear is
that's so freeing, isn't it? I can feel your freedom. I can sense it. I can sense that butterfly movement in you.
Oh, yes.
Flutters, flutters.
Just fluttering about.
Yes.
That's real talk. That's real talk. It is. That's real talk.
That's beautiful. So when people say you have to become your own life coach, what are they referring to? Is there even such a thing?
Well, for me it is, because in my consciousness and seeking, I was seeking these gurus and seeking out all this help. And when I get up, I try to call Mu on the phone and call Greg and call somebody to vomit on and, you know, to trade this energy, give them this energy. And it's like, stop it. Be your own guru. You know where to go. Be still. Life coaching has been The life coach creates this non-judgmental zone, this safe place for you to come, and yet they hold you accountable. And that's what you need, baby. You don't need an enabler.
Mm.
You don't need somebody agreeing with your bullshit, okay? And then you know what they do? They listen. And then you know what else they do? They hear stuff that you didn't even say. But I used to get so mad. So
You're supposed to hear that.
so when you learn, you're learning how to love yourself, not in an egoic way. You think you love yourself. No, no, no. Love yourself for real, for real. Your good, your bad, your ugliness, your dark, your light, you know, your all of it serves you. All of it went into the soup of who you are and who you are becoming. So self-inventory and holding your own self accountable and seeking the God with you, the higher self in you, becoming one with that. That's what I mean when I say learn to be your own coach. But I'm still gonna call my life coach, you know. But I'm saying, because you know, you need, like, I need you to remind me. Sometimes I drift too far away and I need you to pull me back.
Well, that might go to what Tammy is asking. She said, what do you do when you get weary of purpose? What do you do? How do you realign yourself?
Well, this is the first thing I do. I want to be like Tina Marie when she sang that song Deja Vu.
Oof,
I ain't coming back here no more. This.
come on.
Okay, I'm gonna get this shit this lifetime. In this incarnation, on this timeline. I'm here, I'm steadfast, and I'm gonna do. I'm gonna learn. I ain't gonna keep flunking the 5th grade. I ain't gonna keep carrying the same man over and over. The hell is wrong with you? I want to expand my consciousness. And yes, Tammy, I do get tired sometimes. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm like, what is, you know, I'm just gonna go back to church. But I ain't going back to church. I'm not doing that. Now, if somebody needs to do that and that works for them, I'm not, okay. I'm talking about me. And I have that conversation. I remember I would be in the kitchen talking to God, and my husband's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, talking to God. You cussing at God like that? That's sacrilegious. Keep on. I'm gonna call your mama down. You keep on. Okay. I said, this is our relationship. This is how we talk. He knows me. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am in oneness with him. I didn't say it at the time because I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but I know now.
Yeah.
I used to think I was a raindrop, the precipitation and the dew that floats up into a cloud and goes over there and rains in the ocean. I thought it was a rain droplet. I ain't no rain droplet. I'm the fucking ocean, man.
Whoosh. You sending out some waves tonight, baby. Yes.
Yeah. And that's what's happening. I am becoming. There's this word I learned from a brother, Dr. Khalif, godnicity. I am becoming. I am recognizing and identifying with my godnicity. I am the Christ. I'm Jesus, I'm Buddha, I'm Krishna, I'm all of those mythological personages of those stories are about you. About me. I am the Christ. The Christ is within. Yeah. Even when I went to sit back on the pew, just how funny God is, the universe. The man was teaching metaphysics from the pulpit. And I'm like, am I the only one hearing this? Because they like, yeah, yeah, amen. I'm like, is y'all hearing this? Every Sunday, that man told me, ye are gods. Ye are partakers of the divine. Don't you know who you are? Every Sunday he was saying that. And it penetrated and got down in there. And all of them little fires came back up. And I couldn't sit on the pew no more. I had to leave. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so that's good because it then answers Tammy's question too, because sometimes you really do need to rest. You need to refresh yourself. You literally need to pull back. It's
Yes,
okay.
it's okay.
It's okay to pull back. We've been taught to try to be seen and to accomplish and get applause, but no. Self-preservation is far more important.
It is. It is. And the man who signed my paycheck said to me, Valerie, you need to take FMLA. I'm like, man, I can't take FMLA. I got bills to pay. I can't afford to live off a percentage of my salary. He said, you're doing it again. My boss said, what you mean I'm doing it again? He said, you're not taking care of yourself.
Wow. What a thing for a boss to say. I like that.
He said that to me.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I hear you, man. I'm going to use the rest of my vacation until I run out and take this time. My mom is in hospice care. She is preparing to leave her body temple here in the earth. And she's declining. And I'm watching her do that. I'm here with her now. And it's been really rough, but it's also been such a great opportunity. To have this time with her, to have these conversations with her, to take care of her.
Yes. Death can be a beauty. I wish we had another name for it, because when people are transitioning, it's such a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if you took my death doula class.
I did not.
But one of the things that we were talking about was the honor that it is to sit with someone who's transitioning and allowing them the space to share and recapitulate their entire life. And then to watch them as they engage with the family that's on the other side, waiting to bring them over, and have that acceptance that it's okay to go. It's okay to go.
Oh God, I'm so grateful.
You'll always be here with me.
Grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful.
That is so, and as we come to the last few minutes, I mean, I bet you didn't realize we're almost at the end of the program.
Oh, we are? Okay. I love talking to you like this.
I know. And Osara is like, where has this fabulous woman been? Who is this talking?
Oh, he know me. Stop playing. But I don't talk to him that much.
We do know, and this is we have to keep you front and center, because you like to slip into the recesses of the Facebook and just be out there and throw your little tidbits out, and then you go back and hang out with your grandma.
I'm an introvert like that.
Yeah.
But I am a social butterfly as well. I love people.
Oh, I know. I'm an introvert too, but we're gonna keep
an introvert?
I am an introvert.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed.
I just have great social skills, but you will find
all right. I
get time by myself crocheting.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I just want to let you know that this has been absolutely amazing talking to you. And, we could spend probably another hour. And I know that you don't do much right now with taking clients or anything, and you're working with your mom. But if people would like to engage with you, what is the best way to do that? What is your Facebook handle?
My Facebook handle is Farasha Ra Meat. Farasha, Ra, Maat, Maat.
Wonderful. And then, you know, I'm actually going to really tap into you about creating some of those materials that you've talked about, because I believe I heard 6 books in you.
Oh, Lord.
Taking copious notes here, you know. But as we wrap up, do you have any final statement that you didn't get to say, or any testimony, or even stories? Your stories have been absolutely healing and nurturing and just alive, you know, for us. So do you, anything else before we sign off?
I want to say, learn to trust the universe. It's helping you. It's always sending you it's sending you love and support. And when you hear that voice, it tells you it's time to sell this car, take the car to the dealership, okay? Or it's time to do that. It's time to move. You need to leave this job. What trust? It's okay. What if I had left my husband when I first got the green light to do it, and I ignored it because I didn't want to leave my pretty house and my bank accounts. I didn't want to leave. What if I had her? I don't know. But this is the road I chose. Okay. This was a part of my contract the curriculum of birth school, whichever I'm constantly creating with my choices and my actions, I am creating. So if you could learn to trust that voice, oh my God, because the times that I did, can I tell you another quick story?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
Yes.
went to my mother's house one day, and her stepson had sent her this beautiful bouquet of yellow daffodils. They were so bright and pretty and yellow. So then later on, I went to the jewel store, and Jules was having a display, and they were selling all yellow roses, yellow tulips, yellow like, oh my God, all this yellow. Then I heard in the audible ear, Valerie. The flowers called my name, y'all. This is a true story, I swear. I had to go over there and buy some tulips because they called me. I took the tulips home. I sat on my balcony, my patio, and I lit a candle, lit a black and mild, and had a glass of wine. And it said, solar plexus. Go to the doctor. The flowers ministered to me to let me know in my endocrinological system of the solar plexus area that I needed to go see a wizard to
Because that's the color of the solar plexus. It is yellow. And that's your power engine.
Yes, when you are listening and trust the universe, it will support you all the time.
Wow.
I went to the doctor and I got a diagnosis, you know. And it wanted me to know that I need to put my energy in healing there. I need to
Yep.
drink and do what I need to do. It ministered to me and helped me with that stuff like that.
Yes. Yes, because the universe is always giving us something.
Always, just from a bouquet of tulips, and they were pretty too. Oh my God, they're so pretty.
Oh, wonderful.
Calla lily used to be my favorite flower. Now this yellow tulip thing done creeped up. So yeah, stuff like that. Little bitty stuff like that turned out to be
Major. Yeah, because I was gonna say it's not as little, and suppose you would not have paid attention.
Exactly.
No, we
Exactly.
don't.
So learn to trust the universe. And so what if you get it wrong? If you missed? So what?
So what?
Trust the universe. Go with the flow. Say when it tells you, when it's urging you to sell this house, leave this man, whatever it's telling you to do, contemplate it. Just contemplate it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, before we sign off, I want to actually point to at least three references that you talked about. Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz is
Yes.
his work, and he has several other books. But Your Soul's Plan is a very intricate part of our work.
Yes.
And Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. I love.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's her first book, and she
yes.
teaches the depth of visualization, and
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
about that this week. And
Yes.
then The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Those are three powerhouses.
Yeah.
If people took that on during this winter solstice, their
Wow.
life would be completely different by 2025.
I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that.
Yeah,
That
completely.
power of the subconscious mind, that's on my nightstand.
Yeah.
Today, that's at home on my nightstand. And it's almost like a Bible, for helping me to understand. I'm so protective of my ear gates because of it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and my belief systems are constantly challenged. I don't know if I have any belief systems.
Well,
I guess I do.
yeah,
I
I'm
guess
always telling people, you don't have to send me stuff, okay? Because I download. I'm not gonna
right,
look and read it anyway. Okay.
right.
I am very protective of also what goes into my head.
Yes, yes.
And
I
if you
told
take it too much.
I said, son, you see how they pay millions of dollars during the Super Bowl for those commercial spots? Because they are appealing to your subconscious mind. Advertisers have the science, the mind science on that. That's why they pay billions of dollars. That your subconscious mind is ruling, is playing in the background, man. Don't fall asleep with the TV on. Stop doing that. Be protective of your being. Yeah.
Right, very cool. Well, thank you so much, Farasha. I am just overjoyed that you took us up on being a part of this conversation. My spirit told me that you were the perfect one. So when you said yes,
Oh,
and when you said yes,
honored.
and it was, I knew that inside of that King of Club that you had everything that we needed to hear for tonight. So thank you.
You much obliged. Much obliged.
But you're gonna be getting some phone calls from me, just so you know.
Okay.
Give me your time with your mommy, though. Okay.
Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
Yes. And for everyone else, I just want to say thank you for joining us. And we will continue our amazing journey for this week. Tomorrow evening, we will speak with my brother King, who is also my twin queen. We will have a conversation tomorrow about what it means to have self-mastery on the mental path. So you make sure that you have your notes ready because we're going to go deep. Sarah, every night is going to be this. So
Okay.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it also. So thank you. And Alanda is going to do the outro. And then if you all have any questions, we'll still tend to the stream on Facebook. And thank you for joining us. And this has been amazing.
It has.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
Love
All right.
you guys.
All right. Stay on, Farasha.
All right. I'm so honored to be here. Do you know how gleeful I was when I opened that email?
Wait a minute. Let her play the outro and then we're going to talk.
Oh,
Okay. You can, we're done now, Alanda.
okay.
Go. Maybe, where is she? Alanda like to double
She's
tap.
She muted. I know. I see she's
No, she
muted.
should be muted, but she also she could be doing something else. But
Oh, she one of those
she's
multitaskers.
one of those multitaskers, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna just go ahead and end it. So we'll actually see everybody tomorrow night. Join us here live at 7, and we will be talking to Osir Aten. All right. Good
All
night.
right. Good night.